What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So last episode we got that intercooler tubing all fabbed up. I still have a little bit more to do on that, but I wanted to continue with that stainless steel tubing and work on the exhaust system this weekend, but I have a few parts still coming in for that, so we're not going to be able to work on that quite yet. Also, the new saw blade that I ordered hasn't come in yet. The old one cut well for a while, but it really I don't think was meant to be cutting stainless that much, and that's solely what we were doing, so it kind of wore that blade out a little quick. But we have a new blade coming, and we also have a few more tubing coming as well. I needed a few more bends to be able to do this exhaust system, I believe, so went ahead and ordered those also. Those are on their way. We'll get to that next episode, I believe. So on this episode, let me show you what we got planned. So since we took this body off the frame, the body kind of has been a little neglected here. We've been doing most of the work on the frame. However, now that we're getting closer to the point where we're about to get this body back on the frame, we kind of need to pay a little bit of attention to this and get it prepped up some. So as you can see, I have already removed the air box here and also the coolant tank, the overflow tank for the radiator system. That goes there. Now, I still have a few things to remove here. The old fuel filter that's back up in here needs to be removed. We have a fuel filter somewhere else. The wiring harness that used to connect to the old engine, that needs to go as well. I need to go ahead and take out the old shifter, the little test connection here, that needs to go as well. I also want to go ahead and fully remove the steering shaft out of here also. That way I have better access to this panel here. I need to go ahead and pull out the old speedometer cable out of there. I also need to go ahead and disconnect the old gas pedal here and the old throttle cable that used to be connected there. Basically, I want to get everything cleaned up here. I want to power wash everything, and I think I'm going to go ahead and spray some undercoating. Now, I want to spray some undercoating on these panels, but I also think it'd be a good idea to go ahead and power wash and spray some undercoating under there as well. Whenever we get the body back on the frame, it's going to be a little difficult to access the front part here also, so I'm going to basically figure out where I want to cover with the undercoating and where I want to keep the paint that I'm going to be doing on the outside of the body. I do plan on having that wrap underneath just so it doesn't have a harsh line as well. That way everything looks good on it. Also, if you're interested in knowing, the airbox has a few straps on it here. That's really kind of the only way it's mounted up. So those straps basically hook underneath here, and that's what holds that down. Nothing really holds down anything inside here. Once these are loose, this whole unit kind of will tilt out of there, and you'll be able to get it out of the way. You'll just need to slide those straps out from under these, and then that unit should be loose after that. It also does have a protective panel here from rocks and stuff coming up and hitting it. I went ahead and removed that. I will probably paint it with that undercoating as well, but I also want to be able to paint behind it, so I went ahead and took that off. So first things first, I'm going to start disconnecting a bunch of this stuff, and I'll get back with y'all after I'm done with that. Alright, I think we now have everything removed that we're going to need to in order to clean this up and spray it. I did just go ahead and leave the wiring harness attached there. I don't really feel like undoing all of that and then running it all again. And I don't really mind if it gets some of that undercoating spray on there. It's not really going to make a difference on it. As you can tell, it really does need a good cleaning as well. So I will just power wash that whenever I'm power washing all the rest of this. On this side, I need to still remove this. I don't need this anymore because the new engine isn't going to be able to use this anyways. So I'm going to take that off. So I think everything probably past this body line here will just be the regular paint. I'm going to do the wheel well areas along there. But before I do all of that, I need to power wash this, probably come in with a brush as well, try to brush some stuff up, may sand some also, especially kind of here where you could tell there was some overspray on paint that really didn't stick. I want to get anything off that is going to chip away later, similar to like this. All that probably needs to go ahead and come off of there as well. All right guys, it's the next day. I got a few more things done this morning. It is quite windy. I'm going to try to show you what I got done and talk through it there. I don't know if the wind's going to be too strong to be able to hear me through this mic out here. As you can see, I'm around the corner from the wind and it's still blowing. But let me show you what I got. If the wind cuts it out, I'll try to do like an audio overlay and tell you later, piece it in over the top of this. I don't know. But let me show you what we've done so far. So since last time, I went ahead and just removed the brake booster there, disconnected the brake pedal. I did go ahead and take out the smart box. I removed the windshield washer fluid container and pump there. All the hoses that went up top there as well. I went ahead and removed the battery box connections along the inside there. That'll just make it a lot easier to spray. I removed the transfer case and transmission shifter there, the little tester connection. I did go ahead and remove the whole dash panel, disconnected all those. Now, I'm not going to reuse any of these. I may still try to reuse the fuel level sending unit that's in the tank. So I need to basically mark off which one that's going to be and try to take out a lot of this wiring. That may take me a while to do. Basically, I just need to go in and start marking things on what they are. Then I'll probably end up having to remove the whole harness, go through it, and then replace it back in here. But in order to do that, I need to start marking a lot of stuff and taking a lot of pictures just to be sure I know where everything goes. I went ahead and removed the whole steering column out of there, the turn signals, the air filter gauge as well, even the ignition there. I went ahead and left the lights in, but I may end up removing them also. I went ahead and removed all of the seat covers, the seat pans, even the backing on the passenger seat over there. I still need to remove the seat belts from the sides there. I also still need to remove the heater from over here and the mounting system that I have there. The hoses are going to be a little difficult to get to. They were difficult to put in, so I know they're going to be difficult to get out. But that'll help us in painting the inside of here whenever it gets time for that. I think I'm going to go ahead and remove the pans that are in the battery box here. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this as the battery box or try to make a battery box up front, but this will still help me be able to spray in here. So I'm going to go ahead and remove all that as well. So I'm going to get to removing a little bit more stuff and then also cleaning up as I go. So I got my shop vac here, and I have my power washer out as well. Hopefully end up spraying the underside of this by the end of the day. Again guys, sorry about the wind noise. I'm doing my best to try to block the mic here, but as you can see, we got the underside here kind of power washed. It is a lot better than it was before. You could tell it still kind of has a little bit of a fine layer on top of that. That is the degreaser step I want to do before I spray down. I don't know if you can see here, but it actually had some like dielectric grease or some type of grease buildup around here. I got that mostly cleaned off. I need to hit it a little bit more with some degreaser. I also want to spray the front wheel wells here, and in order to do that, I'm going to have to get a sander onto this. As you can see, the Humvee used to be an olive green, but they painted over it with the tan and did not do a very good job, and it's trying to peel off of there. So I need to get a sander on those. This one's kind of the same way here. So it has taken me a lot longer to power wash this than I originally thought it would. I don't know where this was stationed or where they used it, but man, it has some fine sand, silt stuff that just is horrible to try to wash out of there. I don't know if they even tried to wash it out before, whenever they had it for the 30 years that they've had it. All right guys, it is a different day now. Further into the week, I actually got a day to spray this stuff. Let me show you what we ended up spraying and what it looks like. All right, so these are the two products I used on this. I went ahead and sprayed some Undercoat sound deadening spray from DupliColor there. That I just went ahead and sprayed kind of in the tunnel, and then up front I just put a couple of kind of light coats on there. Now the sound deadening that I'm going to use on the inside will do a whole lot better than this. I just wanted to do a little bit outside since I was going to go ahead and spray the outside with some of this truck bed coating as well. I was surprised on how well this worked with the fan shroud, so I went ahead and used it underneath the vehicle as well. I really didn't need to paint underneath the vehicle, but I wanted to go ahead and freshen up the underside as well. This stuff seems to work all right. It does deaden the sound just a little bit, not a whole lot, basically because I didn't spray, 4 coats or something. I just did a good 1 or 2 layers depending on where it was at. And then I sprayed this over the top of it, but let's check out how it looks. So I went ahead and taped everything off and sprayed it down. This does have both of those products on it. The inside here, you could tell I went ahead and sprayed everything down underneath. Also throughout the tunnel, if it will lighten up under there. I don't guess it will. But I went ahead and taped off kind of where I wanted to spray. The outside color I want to basically come up, and I may wrap over just a little bit. But basically it did a very good job. I mean, as you could tell, I do have a little bit of overspray, but I'm not worried about it because we are painting the outside of the vehicle as well. So this is in the back of the Humvee here. You can see I actually just went ahead and sprayed everything down underneath. Also, it looks nice and clean now. I did spend a lot of the day actually trying to clean all of this up. Spraying it with some prep spray and wiping it down does take a long time, so I didn't really want to film in the process of it. It's not very difficult. I just wanted to show y'all the end result. This is on the other side in the back. It looks very good, and it just freshened up the underside of this a whole lot. I did actually go ahead and try to droop everything so I didn't spray the lines too much. Of course, you are going to get some on there unless you go ahead and take them all off. I wasn't too worried about it. The lines have a lot of oversprayed paint on it from back whenever they painted this thing tan. And then they also sprayed a kind of black undercoat on it. It wasn't really a full undercoat. It was kind of just maybe the same type of paint that's on the body here. But their black paint underneath really didn't stick very well because they didn't clean and prep very well. So I really wanted to clean and prep this as best as I can. And guys, it turned out really well. So I don't know if y'all can hear that, or I'll just overlay the sound of it over the top of it, put the mic towards it and do that. But the sound deadening works a little bit on the outside. It's not a whole lot, but like I said, we're going to spray the inside down with lizard skin, sound deadening, and ceramic coat, and that stuff seems to work very well. So I'm not too worried about the sound deadening on the outside. We're going to have really good sound deadening on the inside. Whenever I sprayed this, I did go ahead and tape up all the holes that I could. Up top here, I want to spray it the same color as I am the outside, mainly because I believe that custom coat Bedliner, raptor liner type spray is going to have a lot better UV resistance than this type of spray. This I'm not too worried about under here. This is going to be all covered up and rarely get much sun. But if I do see a little bit of UV burn on it over time, I'll let y'all guys know. Well guys, I hope y'all enjoyed the episode. Like I've said before, whenever I get into painting this stuff, I try not to show just everything I'm doing, sanding, cleaning. Y'all all get that you need to sand and clean and prep a surface. If you've looked at any videos on how to paint something, that is a major step in this. So I do tend to skip those parts and not really record that. That's also why it takes me multiple days to just paint something simple like this underneath the vehicle. But we got it done now. I also ended up this week getting in the exhaust parts that I needed, so we will be working on that next week. Again guys, I appreciate y'all watching. If you like this, please hit the like button, subscribe, share it, leave me a comment, and as always, I'll see y'all next time.